travel to Northampton. The K-Kids have had a good start to the 2003 season, going 3-2. Tonight, they want to spoil the Patriots' run. It's Lehigh Valley Conference football. Northampton, Freedom on RCN 4. Next. From Al Erdesy Stadium in Northampton, Pennsylvania, RCN4 Sports presents live coverage of Lehigh Valley Conference football. Tonight's matchup features the undefeated Freedom Patriots under head coach Jim Morgan in his third season. They are 5-0. They have never in their history been 6-0. They will take on the Northampton Concrete Kids under first-year head coach Terry Tico Johnson. They are 3-2. And that is a terrific start for the Northampton Concrete Kids. As Dick, the last 2 years, they have only won 4 games, as 2-9 in 2001, 2-10 in 2002. Obviously, 3-2 at this point in the season is already a successful season. It is a newly renovated Al Erdesy Stadium. It is absolutely beautiful. We have tremendous accommodations here for the ball game tonight. It's rather chilly outside. It is not chilly right up here where we are. Hello, everybody. I'm Gary Laubach, along with Dick Tracy. Paul Plattenberg will be doing our spotting tonight. Kristen Batovich will be doing our stats for us this evening as we welcome you to this Lehigh Valley Conference game. And Dick, we haven't been able to say that this year because this is the first Lehigh Valley Conference actual league game.
Division, yeah. I like your top of the show start. Patriots 5-0, and looking to climb. Jimmy Morgan realizes he faces a real tough next 2 games, but what a thrill. A nice guy, Jimmy Morgan, works hard, and Freedom to come up there, with the same breath as some of the other powerhouses of the past. We look forward to this. We really do. We meet Tico Johnson. We talk to him. Tremendous personality. Real personal person. And it's just the atmosphere, the weather, and everything else should make it for a good football game.
And we'll have to develop his journey to get here to Northampton if we have time tonight. From Utah to Indiana to upstate New York to Pottsville and now to Northampton. The interesting story, Dick, certainly Freedom at 5-0. They were 5-0 in 1998, and they came to play Northampton, and Northampton knocked them off, and they lost their next 5 ball games in a row. That was under head coach Bill Ryder. So tonight they have a chance, Northampton does, to repeat that effort. Of course, Freedom with an opportunity to go 6-0 for the first time. And Dick, the storyline might be as simple as the power in the trenches of Freedom versus the skill position people of Northampton.
Yeah, you nailed it right, Gary. You certainly got to use the word team when you talk about Freedom, because you look at the line and you're going to see Neely on both sides of the ball. You look at the backs and say, well, where are they? Because you have 6 or 7 of them going. Searfoss at 6'3", doing a very credible job to lead the wing T. And then you look at Northampton, and you must start with a big 4. You must start with a Mushko, you must start with a Hammer, an Operator, and a Haight. And the skilled position people are truly outstanding.
And a pretty good wide receiver, too, in Eddie Crow. He's got 9 catches this year. And on the other side, you've got that stable of backs that Dick was talking about. You have Partridge and Carter and Sanchez. As Dick mentioned, Searfoss in the backfield. Piano will run from time to time. So it's a team. Both teams are laden with good skill position people. Should be a very interesting football game. We're happy to be here. We had hoped to open this stadium for you, and Dira was on the schedule, but the stadium not complete at that time, so we're real happy to be here. And in fact, we have Liberty Northampton as our second ball game next week, following the Easton Freedom game, which should be a mighty clash. All right, the coin toss actually takes place now much earlier than this. This is just a ceremonial one, as it was Freedom that won the toss. They elected to defer. Northampton will get the ball to start the game. And here are the officials for tonight's contest. The referee is Jim Haney. The umpire is Bill Engler. The head linesman is Mike Matejka. The line judge is Steve Gurkovich. And the back judge is Bill Berkheimer. And Dick, we were kind of let in on a little secret here about Northampton's start tonight. it may very well, instead of looking like first-year head coach Tico Johnson making the calls, it may look like maybe Al Erdesy.
Well, you like it, Gary, because Tico's open to suggestions. You know, what did he tell us? That he notices the physical aspect. Well, old-timers from Northampton, stand up, because you could see some of the pass in the opening offense tonight. I think that's why he hung around for the coin toss. He wanted to make sure he got the ball first.
Our first quarter brought to you by Kleckner and Sons Appliance. As we get ready for kickoff, teeing it up for Freedom will be Mark Sedlock. And he's had himself a good season. He's 5 for 7 with field goals. He's got 11 PATs, so he'll kick it off. And Northampton will send a couple of guys back deep. As it looks like Opplinger's back there. And I would think probably Pammer back there also. Nope, number 21, Devin Klein, is back there to receive the kickoff. So the big ball game, Northampton Freedom, first league game of the season. It's end over end, it's deep, it's Klein, and he picks it up outside the goal line on about the 2-yard line, and not the kind of start you'd like, as he will get tackled at the 5. Eric Stoll there to make the tackle. It'll be Northampton ball, 1st and 10 at the 5.
Let's hope these officials are on the ball. Watch the ball have the ball. Here's the fumble. And it just puts Northampton, well, the element of surprise now, Gary. They're even deeper. Let's look for it.
They'll officially mark the ball at the 6-yard line, call it 1st and 10 from there, and the little secret we got is they might even run a little single wing here. We'll see whether or not they indeed shift into it. I'm not quite sure they want to take too many chances this deep in their own territory, so that may negate this first play that they were talking about doing. It does indeed. Instead, they will pitch the ball to the outside, and that will gain maybe 3 or 4 yards on the play. Mike Lovett is there to make the tackle, and Dick Tracy, let's go to the backfield.
Okay, we were talking about Johnny Opplinger as a running back, 30, the great wrestler. Jeff Pammer, the great hurdler, 33. Billy Haight is a wide receiver. The other wide receiver, 6'5", Ed Crow. And Chris Skabrulik, nice size, is the tight end.
Devin Klein, we believe, carried that football as he picked up 4 yards on the play, so it brings up a 2nd and 6. Here's a quick pass thrown out here, and that ball will be caught by Northampton's number 83. Tyler Longley is there to make the catch. Partridge is there to make the tackle. As the first pass by Mushko is a good one. He comes in 39 for 82, and Dick, the offensive line.
Up front, Rashad Morano, Opplinger, brother, Matt France, Dan Schaefer. Dan Schaefer comes in. They said the line is coming.
Dick, they got 8 yards on that pass play, and that's the first down of the football game. Back to giving the ball off to number 30. That's John Opplinger, and Opplinger with some good running room. Opplinger got the corner, and he picked up good yardage as Carter is there to make the tackle. So Northampton, Dick, already has moved out from the shadows of their own goal line to get the ball out to the 35-yard line. This is a gain of 17 yards and a first down. Good run by Opplinger.
And I think you're absolutely right, Gary. The gadget plays were taken away by the field position, so they've come with very basic stuff. Once off tackle, little spot pass, ISO, and now the pitch outside. Now they're going.
There's the little pitch on the option play by the quarterback. John Opplinger has the football. He got hit pretty hard as he gained about 2 yards. Tackled on the play by Lovett, Mike Lovett, the linebacker. And Dick, there is the defensive line. There'll be a gain on the play of a couple of yards.
A good one for Freedom. Ryan Erie, Syracuse bound. Other tackles, Dave Huot. The defensive ends, Ortiz and Neely. And, we have fallen in love with Neely as a football player, both ways.
And we'll correct that, a gain of 4 yards on the play by Opplinger. So Opplinger now a couple of carries for 21 yards. From the 39, here's another quick pitch back to Opplinger. Boy, he does a nice job of getting around people. Cuts up inside, a good block. Opplinger will get it up to the 45. They'll say the ground caused the fumble. Tackled on the play by Carter. That's a gain of 16 yards on the play. Another Northampton first down. And will indeed go to the telestrator on this play. Watch the cut made by John Opplinger.
Nothing more again. Very basic, quick pitch.
And stop it right there, as Opplinger now makes that cut to the outside as the block to the inside caused that defensive man to move inside. Good block downfield that time by Billy Hayes.
Oh, the shift there.
Watch out, here it comes. This could be the trick play that we were talking about. And the ball is fumbled. That's what you worry about, Dick. They were moving the ball and moving the ball, tried to go to a gadget play, and Jose Ortiz is there to pick up the fumble. So just like that, they try something new, something different, and Dick, it forces a turnover.
Yeah, a lot of movement, of course, now on the shift. Exchange was bad. Bounces very high. High exchange.
Oh, now Tico probably is kicking himself for calling the play. It's one that he thought would certainly full freedom. Didn't have to because the ball was laid down on the floor, on the ground.
So Partridge on the carry for freedom.
So Partridge carries the football. He'll get about a yard on the play. It's going to bring up 2nd and 9. Hammer is there to make the tackle.
Northampton comes right back with the defense. They took a little bit of a gadget there. The double reverse inside off the wing team. No huddle at Freedom. Remember that. No huddle.
2nd and 9 from the 49 as Sirfas just gets everybody on the same page. Carter is your halfback along with Partridge. The fullback is Sanchez. And in motion goes Carter. Turn around, hand the ball off. Here comes Partridge. Good smack by Northampton. In the trench that time was Danny Schaefer, number 53, who made a real good hit along with Josh Harricle. The gain is to the 49, a gain of 2, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 7. Dick?
Freedom backfield will vary at times. Backfield by committee. Joe Partridge, 20. Quadir Carter, 21. 24, Ray Sanchez. Colin Neely is the tight end, number 1, and 9, Chris Schlock. Good numbers with Schlock.
And already a big play here for both the defense of Northampton, the offense of Freedom on a 3rd, and they say 6, we'll say 7. Back to throw Sirfas. Looking, he'll fire the ball in the dirt. Good penetration that time. As coming in to make a good stick was 82. Chris Hall. Pass is incomplete.
This is good, D. Gary. Almost looks like a screen setup. You know, they really filled it. Look at that. 3 of them. Forces him to throw a lot sooner than he wished.
So Sirfas will have to punt the ball away. He averages 38.4 yards per punt. As deep to receive the punt looks like Craig Mushko. Punt is high. It's a good spiral. And check that. It is Mushko back there. That ball will go into the end zone. Or is that number 10? Looks like number 10, Sid Gergar, who is back there, the sophomore. And that punt will be a 49-yarder. And Northampton will have the ball 1st and 10 on their 20-yard line, and Dick will go to the defense.
Part of the D that stopped Patriots on their first offensive burst. You had Sanchez, this is a Freedom defense. Sanchez, Lovett, Roberto Albino, Nick Descolo, he'll play a lot of offense. Quadir Carter we've already mentioned, Schlock we've already mentioned, and Partridge. A lot of guys doubling up.
From the 20-yard line, better field position than that 6-yard start they had on their first possession. Here comes a quick pitch to Opplinger, trying to get outside. He'll run right into Chris Schlack. As Schlack meets him head-on along with Neely. And he's put down at about the 21-yard line. It'll be a gain of a yard.
Opplinger carrying the brunt of the load so far offensively. Say he is a lot faster than you realize. You see the pull block, but played well by Schlack and Neely right there.
Looks like Brett Krupa out there, along with the 53 throwing some blocks. 53 is Danny Schaefer. 2nd and 9 from the 21. The clock reads 7 minutes and 33 seconds to go in the first period. Perhaps a passing situation for Mushko. He's going to roll to his left. Look, fire quickly outside. Has his receiver who goes down. That's Billy Haight. Haight came in with 12 catches, 244 yards. That's 20 yards per catch and 4 touchdowns. He certainly won't get 20 yards on this one. He'll pick up 3 yards on the pass play. So Mushko is 2 for 2 for 11 yards, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 6.
Definitely Haight is a prime target guy. We're talking about over 300 yards already on his receptions.
Third and 6 or 7. The ball on the 24-yard line. Let's go back. Firing over the middle. He's got a man on a great catch. And the ball is dropped. Are they going to call it a catch and a fumble, or are they going to call it an incomplete pass? They're going to call it a catch and a fumble, as falling on it is going to be Nick Discolo along with Kadir Carter, as the ball is completed to Gabrillik. Great catch, Dick.
Tight end throw, obvious passing situation, real good catch. Get him in the air, jar it loose. Kadir Carter in on jarring this thing loose, Gary.
Dick, that's an 18-yard pass play to Gabrillik, and it's 1st and 10 Freedom on the fumble. Back to throw Sirfas from the 42-yard line of Freedom, and that will be an incomplete pass.
Sirfas throws to a spot, one receiver only. You're looking about Chris Schlatt going downfield. Had him pinned to the inside, but ball overthrown. Offensively, up front for the Patriots, Mike Shadler, Matt Kohler, Andy Seipel, great story. Jarek Valkert doing a job. Ryan Erie, we've already mentioned.
So 2 fumbles already by Northampton here in the first period. As Freedom with good field position tried to strike on the first play. Incomplete pass, 2nd and 10 from the 42-yard line. In motion goes Carter, or Partridge. Instead, they hand the ball to Sanchez up the gut. Sanchez looks like he got to about the 39-yard line before being banged around. Some real good hitting going on down there. Klein and Palkovich there to make the tackle. It's a gain of 3, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and 7.
Tico Johnson will play a 3-man front, 4 linebackers. Rich Kresley, Charles Hall, Justin Opplinger, brother of John, up front for the kids.
From the 39-yard line, another big 3rd down play. Freedom yet to get a 1st down. Only their 2nd possession. Sirfas back, looking. He's going to fire deep, intended for Carter, and just beyond his outstretched hands, as Carter could not come up with it. As good coverage that time by Northampton's Devin Klein from his strong safety position. Dick, I'll tell you what, you'd think with black shirts and orange numbers it'd be easy to pick these guys up. It is not.
There you see the outstretched arms, just overthrown. Freedom loves to go to one receiver.
So Sirfas off to a bit of a shaky start, 0 for 3 in the passing department. He'll punt the ball away for the 2nd time from the 39-yard line. Looks like Opplinger back there to receive the punt this time. Tries to pooch it and keep it inside the 5-yard line. It'll get into the end zone. It will be a 39-yard punt, but they'll only gain a net 19 yards. As for the 2nd time tonight, Northampton will have the ball to start a drive on their own 20-yard line.
Yeah, Northampton playing inspired up to this point, Gary. 2 offensive drives generated, both stopped with fumbles.
Ironically, Mushko 3 for 3 for 29 yards. But with that fumble on the big gain, he got nothing out of it. So it's 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. And the handoff again to Opplinger up the middle. Boy, he hits a hole very quickly. Out over the 25 to the 27-yard line. He'll get 7 yards on the carry. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 3 as he's tackled by Schlack and Carter. And Opplinger already, Dick, 5 carries for 45 yards.
Yeah, and we haven't seen Palmer yet, the hurdler, the speedster. Number 33 offensively. He's lining up wide a lot of the times.
And Palmer came in with 424 yards, almost double what Opplinger had gotten. And tonight it's been Opplinger as the workhorse. Out of the gun. Again, they'll go draw play to Opplinger. He makes people miss, and he's going to get a 1st down. And Dickey earned that one all on his own. As he gets up to the 34-yard line, a gain of 7. 1st down, number 5 for Northampton. Schlack on the tackle.
Size and speed, and yet it's his feet that make the difference. A real nice cut right there. And back, and pretty much on his own. Good running.
1st and 10 Northampton. They have been able to move the ball here so far. A couple of fumbles have stopped their drives. Ed Crow out wide to the right side. As Mushko looks over the defense, may have made an audible. Quickly pops this one out to Palmer. Palmer carries the ball for the 1st time. Palmer will go down at about the 41-yard line. Joe Partridge is there to make the tackle. That'll be a gain of 7 yards. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 3.
I agree with you. I think that was an audible. Check at the line of scrimmage. Simple pitch to the outside. Very effective. Northampton really looks good on offense so far, Gary.
How effective in this drive, Dick? They've run for 7 yards, 7 yards, and 7 yards.
From the gun.
2nd and 3 from the 41. Freedom's going to blitz this time. Is coming in with Schlack, and Schlack did a nice job. Came in totally unblocked and put the ball carrier down as Jose Ortiz was there to make the tackle.
You got a good shot of Schlack there. Just cheating up the line of scrimmage and comes in and certainly ruins the play. Freedom has gone to their blitz package very, very well this year.
Opplinger carried the football. He got a yard on the play. And now Freedom looking at their first big third down play as they're looking at a 3rd and 1. Give the ball to Opplinger, and Dickey moved the pile. I don't know whether he got enough, as he had to get to the 44-yard line, and it looks like he got maybe about 3/4 of a yard, but not the entire yard.
Spot says no, and Jim Haney says no.
It gets a gain of a yard, but they're going to be a yard shy of the first down, and guess what, Dick? Tico Johnson's a gambler.
You'll love it. He must have stopped in Vegas on that itinerary of his also.
I made a little fun of Tico tonight because he has gloves on, a short sleeve shirt, and shorts. I said, what kind of outfit is that? He says, well, believe it or not, my appendages, he said, tingle a little bit in cold weather, so that's why he wears the gloves. And now let's see whether or not Northampton got the first down on the sneak.
That was a pretty good defensive effort by Freedom.
Boy, this is a big call, Dick, on 4th down. Jimmy Haney, the referee, says this is his timeout. Going out is John Opplinger to check things out. Dick, he certainly got some forward motion there.
Trying to lean over to my left and try and spot this one for us.
They got it. That's a big first down. First down number 6 for Northampton. As the big offensive line of Opplinger, 240, Franz, 250, Verano, 230, Dockett, 240, Schaefer, 220. Get the job done. 1st and 10, a new sequence here for Northampton on the 1st and 10. Back, Mushko, looking and looking. He'll fire it out here to Billy Haight. Haight will make the catch. Can't go anywhere as Chris Slack is there to wrap him up at the 49-yard line. He'll pick up 5 yards on the pass play. And Mushko, Dick, a perfect 4 for 4, 34 yards.
Well, credit is staying in the pocket that time. That front of Northampton dominated so far in this game, and they certainly dominated with their pass protection there. He had all day to throw that one.
Congratulations to Debbie Anthony in her 17th season as the field hockey coach at Northampton. She won her 200th game yesterday, a 1-0 win over Pleasant Valley. She has won 10 or more games in 11 of the last 12 years. Congratulations, Northampton's field hockey coach, Debbie Anthony. 2nd and 5, Mushko back. That's another perfect pass as he drops the ball right into Jeff Palmer's hands. Knocked out of bounds by Kadir Carter. They'll mark the ball at the 41-yard line. A gain of 10 yards and another Northampton first down.
Here's Jeff Palmer with his 17th reception of the year. Throw to the spot. Perfectly on the sidelines. Catch and step out.
1st and 10, Northampton from the 41-yard line of Freedom. They have dominated this first period, although it doesn't show on the scoreboard. Good hard run by Opplinger, tackled by Sanchez. They'll get the ball to the 37-yard line, I believe, is where they'll mark it. And that will be a gain of 4, 2nd and 6.
Last week, Freedom came in with one of the best defensive points per game average allowed, Gary. 4.3, I believe it was. And Allen rocked them for 3 touchdowns. And that offensive thrust by the opponent certainly continuing here in this first quarter.
Northampton with wins over Stroudsburg, Dira, and Central Catholic. Losses to Phillipsburg and to Parkland. Here's a quick throw out to the outside, and that ball is fumbled. The officials are going to say no. They blew the whistle. So Northampton will probably get a little bit of a talking to about hanging on to the ball. Ed Crow made the catch. Partridge was there to make the tackle. And Dick, no gain on the play, so the pass is complete, but no gain.
Very visible to us. We see it here, Gary. This has been the entire first quarter. They are stretching for that extra yardage. And, really carrying the ball just a little bit loosely. I tell you, they are up. They're psychologically ready.
doing a great job along the line of scrimmage. That's where Tico was really concerned. He knew his skill position people were good. Oh, wide open. And a great block by Opplinger. Down the sideline goes Mushko. Mushko will get knocked out of bounds at the 17-yard line, as that will be a pickup of 20 yards and a first down. Chris Schlack there to make the tackle.
That is the true option. The boot well freezes the defensive line. Fake and, oh boy.
Watch number 30, Dick.
Well, yeah, watch Opplinger come in.
Boom,
Oh,
there is a
good
block
shot.
on Albino. First and 10 for Northampton from the 17-yard line. Here comes Schlack again on the blitz. Here's the option out to Opplinger. He'll put his head down, barrel down to about the 10 or 11-yard line. They'll mark it at the 10. Tackle made by Partridge. That'll be a gain of 7.
Northampton playing inspired football. Timed perfectly. You know, they said they got a lot of scholar athletes in that Northampton roster this year, Gary. And Mushlet's showing it there. A perfect pitch at the perfect time.
They really put Opplinger to work. 10 carries in the first quarter for 65 yards as the first quarter comes to a close. As it's no score on the board, but it has been all Northampton. Freedom yet to get a first down. Stay with us. We'll be back.
Why are they calling the war on October 4 the pay-per-view card of the year? Because these guys won't back down.
Evander Holyfield.
They won't back up.
James Toney.
They won't back off. Finally, a heavyweight fight that lives up to the hype. Holyfield Tony, the war on October 4, plus Joel Casamayor versus Diego Corrales, and more. Saturday, October 4th, live on pay-per-view.
We are back. We welcome you back. We'll go to the Leopard Straighter here on one of those big plays in that first quarter. Hanging on to the ball. Now stop it right there. Now here's the decision this guy makes right here. Is he's going to step right in and throw a mean block, and that allows that play to be much more successful. 2nd and 3 from the 10-yard line. They'll drop this one out quickly. They'll actually complete the pass and lose yardage. As this will go to Jeff Hammer. As Kadir Carter is there to make the tackle. The officials are going to mark the ball at the 12 or 13-yard line. We'll wait and see where they put it down. We'll call it the 13. That's a loss of 3 on the completion.
Kadir Carter read that one very, very well. Came up from the secondary spot, put the hit on immediately, ends up in 3rd and 5. Big play, Gary.
3rd and 5 from the 12. Rolling, looking, Mushko. He'll throw it back against the grain. That's a great call down to the 5-yard line. As that ball will be caught on the play by number 86 for Northampton, Chris Gabrilli. Sanchez and Discolo are in on the tackle down to the 5. That's a gain of about 7 yards.
Chris Gabrilli, that's a sequence play. Last time they threw that thing, going to the left. This time they fake it to the right and come back. Gabrilli, the only line starter back from last year.
Ball's on the 6-yard line. 1st and goal to go, Northampton. A good look at the 6'2", 190-pound senior quarterback, Craig Mushko. The ball is dropped. They fumbled again, and Colin Neely is on the ball. Oh, my. Northampton just moving it up and down the field, and they fumble the football for the 3rd time. Colin Neely with the fumble recovery.
At their own 10-yard line.
I don't know if we have this one again or not, Gary, but it seemed like a pretty quick pitch and a short distance between.
And never, ever getting a handle on it was Opplinger as the ball down at the feet of Neely. He took care of it back to the 10-yard line. 1st and 10 for Freedom. Northampton shooting themselves in the foot again. Handoff this time goes to Carter. And boy, I'll tell you, there's not much running room against that Northampton defense so far in this ball game. And time we show you those guys, Dick, they're playing a great game.
Outside linebacker, John Opplinger, 30, Dan Polkovitz. Inside, Jeff Pammer, Dan Schaefer. Billy Haight, Josh Haracle, Jim Zuber, Devin Klein, secondary.
The ball on the 11-yard line, that's a gain of only a yard. 2nd and 9 as they hand the ball off, this time to Joey Partridge. Partridge certainly capable of going all the way anytime you give him the ball. Chris Hall is there to make the tackle. Partridge will get the ball up and beyond the 15-yard line. They'll mark it at the 17, a gain of 6. And Freedom's going to be looking at a 3rd and 3, and Dick's still looking for their first down.
Third possession. And so far, the kids have done the job against this wing T. Freedom very good at breaking the big play. Not the 80-yarder, but the 10, 15, 20-yarder. That gives them the field position they seek.
Searfoss back to throw. Fires, and that's going to be a good catch. Good pass to Slack. Slack has the first down at the 30-yard line. A gain of 14 yards. Billy Haight is there to make the tackle. The first completion of the night by Searfoss, and it's a good one, 14 yards.
This is a slant. Little look in from the slot position. Searfoss right on the money. That 6'3" frame helps you looking over that defense.
So they get out from underneath the shadow of their own goal line and a little bit more breathing room. 1st and 10 from the 30. Searfoss came in with 55% completion average, 29 for 53, 578 yards and 4 touchdowns. There's a great catch as that's caught by Partridge. It looked at first stick as if Northampton, Josh Haracle might come up with an interception. Schaefer is there to make the tackle along with Jeff Pammer. As they'll mark it at the 36, it'll be a gain of 6 and 2nd and 4.
And this has been a big plus for Freedom this year, Barry. Jimmy Morgan's in the past not noted to go to that first down pass, but he comes up with it here and he finds Partridge in a group of defenders.
Searfoss gives it to the first man through. Oh, what a stick by Justin Opplinger. He stuck the ball carrier just as he came across the line of scrimmage. Kadir Carter, or check it, that's Ray Sanchez carrying the ball. And it was indeed Opplinger who came in to make that tackle. As they'll mark the ball at the 38-yard line, that's a gain of 2. 3rd and 2 from the 38. Neely readjusts, and so does Chris Slack as they flip-flop. Top to bottom on your screen, turn around, hand the ball off. Oh, another good hard smack by Northampton. And that is by Justin Opplinger again. So he's had a couple of good back-to-back hits. And that ball carrier, Dick, was Discolo, and he got disconnected from his offensive line. No gain.
That's great hit. This, almost jarred the ball loose. In addition, Dan Schaefer made penetration and bumped him in the backfield.
So Searfoss forced a punt for the 3rd time tonight. Opplinger back to receive it. Nobody's returned one of these punts yet. And Opplinger drops the ball, but he does fall on it immediately. Discolo was right there in case he didn't get it. And it will be Northampton football, 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line. That was a 26-yard punt.
And even though they've turned it over offensively 3 times, they'll still come back and put their heads right back up and play solid defense, stopping the Patriots almost in their tracks.
One of the things that we were told certainly about Northampton, Dick, is that this is a ball club that just does not have any quit in them.
Yeah, a great attitude. They talk so much about attitude already.
1st and 10 from the 36-yard line, 7:25 to go in the 2nd period. Back to throw. Mushko firing down the sideline, and coming across to make the play was Partridge as he got some help from number 10, Albino. As that pass will be incomplete. Ed Crow was the intended receiver.
Ed Crow listed at 6'5". Again, they pick out one individual receiver on the pattern.
That is the first incomplete pass of the night by Mushko. He had completed 8 in a row.
Mushko, great complete. 49 out of 97 coming in. So, you're talking real good passing line. 759 yards already.
2nd and 10 from the 36 out of the shotgun. Mushko will drop back. Plenty of protection. Now it's starts to break down. Here comes a penalty flag. First one of the night. Mushko gets popped, and that ball up in the air for grabs. Billy Hay had a pretty good line on it, but we're going to have holding here, Dick, I think, against Northampton. And Tico Johnson is out there on the field giving some instruction vehemently to his quarterback, Craig Mushko.
He didn't like the trajectory or the flight of the ball. And the fact that he put it up for grabs.
Well, the trajectory is going to be caused by, as you get a look here at the hold, this trajectory is caused, Dick, by a smack that's put on Mushko as he tries to get rid of the football. So it's point of foul penalty, and it's going to be all the way back to the 21-yard line. It'll go down officially as a 10-yard penalty, but it really ends up being about a 15-yarder because of the place where the penalty occurred.
Jarrett Volkert, number 77, Freedom veteran lineman, up with a good pass rush.
Second and 25. They have 20 on the board, but that's not correct. Second and 25 from the 21-yard line, rolling and looking. Mushko will drop the ball off, kind of a soft pass to Gavrilik, and he just gets swarmed upon by a whole bunch of white shirts led by Schlack and Sanchez there to make the tackle. The gain will be to the 25. It'll be a 4-yard pass play.
This is just a little check-off, really, after the pressure is there. Void the sack, makes a short completion. Freedom happy to give up only that short yardage.
9 for 10 now in the passing department for 52 yards.
A few times we see twin backs.
From the 25-yard line. Mushko will roll right. Here comes Neely after him. And this is a well-designed play. Dropped off to Pammer. Pammer's going to get the ball back to the original line of scrimmage and a couple of more yards beyond that on third down as Payano and Sanchez there to make the tackle. They'll mark it at the 38-yard line. That'll be a gain of 13 yards, but well shy of a first down.
Yeah, they've thrown this one, the pattern before, Gary. This time they fake to Pammer, bootleg to his right, and comes back to the left, trying to get him in an isolated position, breaks one tackle, but then Freedom covers with 3 others.
And now Jim Haney again talking about a flag I did not see thrown. So we'll hold everything. This may all be erased. We got an ineligible player. I would think Freedom might want to just make him punt it. Maybe not. And set him back. No, they're going to decline this, I would think. That will be declined. Force Northampton to punt the ball away as they will mark the football at the 38-yard line.
First time the Pace have held defensively.
This is indeed the first punt by Northampton. Pammer does the punting. Deep to receive it is Joe Partridge. And Freedom will get the ball with about 6 minutes to go here in the first half. They have not had the ball for any length of time. Good snap. Here comes all of the white jerseys. And we're going to get a penalty flag as we're going to get roughing the kicker here. And Dick, roughing the kicker is going to be a first down.
We've said this season when you charge, and make that rush on the kicker, Gary, from the front, it's hard to hold up. Oh, boy, that's a real bump.
Yeah, Justin Lee could not hold up. Pounds the turf. It's a beautiful turf here. And he pounded it, and it's going to be a first down for Northampton. First down number 9. For the kids. This is a 15-yarder, the first penalty against Freedom.
15 yards.
And that will take the ball in the Freedom territory all the way down to the 47-yard line.
The Pates will have front play defense again.
Caddy Notre Dame to follow tonight at 9:30. Oh, there's some movement. That's going to be a penalty against Northampton. That will be their second penalty for 15 yards. So all of a sudden, things looking a little sloppy here.
Over anxious on the right side.
Northampton has fumbled the ball away 3 times tonight. They had a 7-play drive stopped by a fumble. They were moving the ball again as they had gained 22 yards on only 4 plays. Fumbled the ball. Then they had a 15-play drive, fumbled the ball. This time their drive aided by a roughing the kicker call. 1st and 15 from the 48-yard line back into Northampton territory. Opplinger will carry and get the ball back into Freedom territory to the 49. He'll gain 3 on the play. Ortiz and Neely are there to make the tackle.
So they gained most of that 5 yards back, a little bit more than 3. Tough calls here. You know, you're 3 down territory really, and you're going to have to rush for 15 because of the penalty on 3 downs. So expect the pass from the gun.
Opplinger now has carried the ball a dozen times for 72 yards. Even I can figure out that's 6 yards per carry. Watch out, Neely. And that's just a great job by Mushko, Dick. He had to get rid of that ball. He found some open green and just threw the ball into the ground. And certainly not grounding because they had a receiver Crow in the area. Look at Neely.
One responsibility, get to the quarterback. Gary, you and I saw him up close going down the field. Oh, he is a package.
So Mushko now 10 for 12, 65 yards. We'll go back into the huddle and be looking at a 3rd and 12 for a 1st down here.
What did Jimmy Morgan tell us? Good kid, plays basketball in the winter.
And really has some goals for himself. There's that little shuffle pass. Oh, did that work out perfectly? Opplinger down the sideline. And Dick, I tried to pick up, I'm not sure whether it was France who threw that great block. I think it was. He threw a terrific block to open things up. Joe Partridge is there to make the tackle. What a great call that was. We'll go to the telestrator, and if we can stop it right there. Here's a terrific block just to open things up so Opplinger can come right across here. And that, it was Pammer, I believe, that threw that block, and we're going to have a measurement. They were looking at a 3rd and about 12 for a 1st down, and they may have gotten just that amount as the ball is marked at about the 36 or 37-yard line.
First down, but I want to double make sure.
Even if they don't have it, you know, that Tico whenever
They got 13 yards and a 1st down on the play.
1st and 10 at the Freedom 36.
We'll see it here. And again, the feet with just a good job, too, by Opplinger on that one cut.
So a 13-yard gain on the pass play, which makes it such a great play. It's safe if the ball's dropped and lays on the ground. It just goes down as an incomplete pass. So 11 for 13 for 78 yards now. And the pass is complete to Opplinger for the 13. Now Opplinger carries again. He'll get to about the 35. He'll gain a yard. Jose Ortiz on the carry.
Little counter trap that time. Trying to overcome Freedom's surge. Freedom loves either blitz packages or, you know, anything that deviates from the norm when they're back in the deep in their own territory.
I realize what seems so unusual here, Dick. We're enclosed with the glass, and we're not getting the sounds of the game, and highly unusual. Back to throw Mushko as he tried to drop it in an open space, and it was almost picked off in the tip drill, intended for Pammer. It'll go down as an incomplete pass, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and 9.
Hammer runs a straight slot route, and it's just slightly overthrown and tipped and almost intercepted.
Partridge and Discolo trying to figure out who could get to that ball. 3rd and 9 from the 35, 4:36 on the clock. The entire half dominated by Northampton. Keeping the ball, what a great play by Mushko. Great fake by Mushko. Up the middle he goes, a huge hole to the 21-yard line, a gain of 14 yards, a 1st down. Tackle by Partridge. Dick, we got to telestrate this one just to show the hole.
Yeah, the D was key, obviously, on Opplinger and possible pass situations. So they just came full speed ahead, and Mushko's delay fake just good enough to open it up on the counter side.
What a huge hole. Great fake by Mushko. 1st and 10 from the 21. Give the ball to Opplinger. Cut to the outside. He'll go down the sideline, get knocked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. That's a gain of 8 yards. 2nd and 2, Discolo on the tackle.
Boy, that play had great developments for Northampton. You know, you're going from the gun, and yet it turns out to be a super run with that option.
Second and 2 from the 13. Clock stop, 4:09. Northampton's been knocking on the door. They haven't been able to get in there. Barreling forward, putting his head down is Opplinger. Opplinger just carrying it, carry after carry. Sanchez there to make the tackle. They'll mark it at the 13, and virtually no gain. All right, I'll tell you, it's very seldom when our camera guys get faked out, but everything's going to look like it's going that way. And then look at this huge hole opened up there on a terrific call, as we're going to get a timeout called down on the field. ABE Doors and Windows sponsor our timeout. No score, and we'll hold everything. Jim Haney has a penalty flag, so we'll keep it right here for a second. We're going to now get a timeout called There Is No Flag on the Play. We'll be back.
Why are they calling the War on October 4 the pay-per-view card of the year? Because these guys won't back down.
Evander Holyfield.
They won't back up.
James Tony.
They won't back off. Finally, a heavyweight fight that lives up to the hype. Holyfield Tony, the War on October 4, plus Joel Casamayor versus Diego Corrales, and more. Saturday, October 4th, live on pay-per-view.
It has been all Northampton tonight except for the fumbling, bumbling, and stumbling. And here's how they have ended some drives.
Hey, there's the gadget play. Practiced. There's a reception and torn loose.
Not sure he ever had control of that ball.
And there's an inside fumble.
That's how Northampton has stopped 3 drives. Gabrielic may not have ever had control of that football. Opplinger first down. He'll get down inside the 10. Opplinger to about the 9-yard line. First and goal to go for Northampton. Love it. And Carter in on the tackle. They'll mark it at the 9, a gain of 4 yards.
23 times during that last Northampton timeout. Hold on to the ball. Hold on to the ball.
Well, they have decided to ride the back of Opplinger tonight. 14 carries, 77 yards. We still have 3 minutes and 25 seconds to go in the second period. First and goal to go from the 9-yard line. It's Opplinger. Good haul on the right side. He'll get down to the 5, down to about the 3-yard line. Great blocking by France and Schaefer and Justin Opplinger. Kadir Carter in on the tackle. They'll mark it at the 4, a gain of 5.
You will not believe these halftime statistics.
You won't believe the way these guys are blocking right in here. Right there, hold it up. Right there, you've got the gap. That's all a running back wants, is some room to run the ball, and Opplinger can certainly do that. Second and goal to go from the 4-yard line. Keeping it, Mushko. This time he's hemmed in by Partridge. Joey was there to wait for him and put Mushko down at the 4-yard line, so no gain on the play.
A lot of times on the option series, Gary, you know, the defense just pick out, this man is your responsibility. That time the Pates had it played perfectly.
So third and goal to go from the 4. Place kicker is Tyler McCandless, if you're thinking field goal. Passing situation, Mushko. He'll roll to the left side. He'll look. He'll fire back into the end zone. That ball is caught. That's a touchdown. Northampton touchdown. Billy Hayes' 5th touchdown catch of the season. It's a 4-yard touchdown grab from Craig Mushko, his 8th touchdown pass of the year.
Boy, Mushko is cool on this one. Gives a hand fake. Not worried about the defensive pressure, and simply lays it in the back of the end zone. And there's Haight on the cross pattern.
Haight with his 5th touchdown. Mushko with his 8th touchdown pass. The extra point by McCandless is up. The extra point is indeed good. 2:03 on the clock, first half. It's Northampton on the board. 7-0 over undefeated Freedom High School. Stay with us.
Why are are they calling the war on October 4 the pay-per-view card of the year? Because these guys won't back down.
Evander Holyfield.
They won't back up.
James Tony.
They won't back off. Finally, a heavyweight fight that lives up to the hype. Holyfield Tony, the war on October 4, plus Joel Casamayor versus Diego Corrales, and more. Saturday, October 4th, live on pay-per-view.
We are back. Freedom came in as the only undefeated Class 4A team in districts at 5-0. Emmaus 4-1. Northampton was sitting in 6th spot right now at 3-2, and their point total tied Liberty and Nazareth 10 points down. Pocono Mountain East also 10 points behind them. So right now, Dick, Northampton has themselves thinking upset tonight.
Yeah, and I think one of the big things, but I'll get to that after the kickoff, Gary.
That kickoff will come from Tyler McCandless. It will be end over end, and it will be collected at the 14-yard line by Joe Partridge. And Partridge is going to get pummeled at about the 26-yard line. Believe me, Dick, Northampton certainly came to play tonight. They're hitting people anytime they have the opportunity. Halata and Gerger are there to make the tackle.
Yeah, you know, the talk the freshman saying, Gary, in a few minutes is going to be about all Northampton's domination offensively, but my question would be is where is this Freedom Patriots offense that averages 21.6 a game? Obviously, they haven't had it much, but when they did, really haven't done much with the ball.
We know they have quick strike potential. Sirfat's going to try to do just that. Trying to find Neely. He does not. A great defensive play by Jim Zuber, the free safety. Came over and got a hand just as Neely was ready to catch it. And let me make one correction. Jordan Orbanchik was the guy who kicked the ball off.
When he aired out, has the outside. Back turn. Look at that. Nice. Gets the hand in the way.
2 for 6 in the passing department for 20 yards. That's what Sirfas has done tonight. And he's going to be looking at a 2nd and 10. Clock winding down, 1:45. Freedom still has 3 timeouts remaining. They give the ball to Kadir Carter. He tries to cut back, and he's still on his feet, but hemmed in as Josh Harrickle, Dick, grabbed him, didn't put him down, and Carter's still running. Penalty flag is thrown. I think this is all coming back. Carter's just running out of gas, Dick, as he'll get down to the 49-yard line. None of this is going to count, as this is going to be a hold right in the middle of that mess back at the line of scrimmage.
Gee, that's a good job at eluding, but it's going to cost you in that backfield with your offensive lineman.
They're going to mark the penalty at the line of scrimmage, so it'll be a 10-yard penalty.
How he ever gets out of that mess defensively.
He's got a 110-yard run, Dick. There, I thought he was definitely headed down. The flag is thrown right in that pile. Right there, that official right there just threw it. Sets the ball all the way back to the 19-yard line. Second penalty against Freedom now for 25 yards.
And that clock stoppage is a big deal now, too, Gary. Northampton could get this ball back.
Second and 19 from the 19. Sirfas looking and firing. He's got Neely. Neely has the catch. Out of bounds. Knocked out of bounds on the play by Devin Klein. As the official will mark it at the 36-yard line. It'll be a 17-yard pickup. And they're about a yard shy of a first down.
Little dive fake that time for your defense. Roll out of the pocket. Throw to the sideline. Get the completion and step out.
So Neely makes the catch for 17 yards. 3rd and 1 from the 37. Minute and 21 on the clock. Again, Freedom has all their timeouts remaining. They get a first down here. They certainly will use them. They turn around and they hand the ball off to their deep back. That's Partridge. Partridge will get the first down to the 40. He'll gain 3 on the play That's only first down number 2 for Freedom in the ball game.
Being
And he's tackled by Palkovich.
Northampton, along with Dan Schaefer.
Able to get a little bit of a running game there in a third and short.
One nice thing about this Freedom offense, Dick, without the huddle, they don't use up a lot of time anyway. They'll readjust and bring Schlack out here to the right side. He'll get picked up man-to-man by Haight. In motion is Carter. Back to throw Sirfas. And Sirfas got hurried, and the pass was thrown incomplete. Nice job by number 87. And that's Jim Zuber. From his free safety position, Dick, he was blitzing and putting all kinds of pressure on Sirfas.
Zuber coming off the corner, doesn't fall for the fake, heads for the quarterback, and actually just throws to the safety valve. A little low, incomplete.
Clock stopped, 52 seconds, second and 10. Ball on the 40-yard line. 7-0 Northampton. And Dick, Freedom has to feel pretty good that it's only 7-0.
Absolutely.
Sirfas back. Good protection. Now it breaks down. He throws the ball to Colin Neely. I'm not sure how he found him, but he found him, and Neely's going to get a first down as he'll get the ball into Northampton territory, a gain of 11, and Freedom's going to call a timeout here. And Dick, this is a miraculous play by the quarterback.
Kid sideline screaming for a hold right here. He had it just off to the right. This is little dump off. A lot of people standing around.
We will be back. 7-0 Northampton, 42 seconds to go in the first half.
Why are they calling the war on October 4 the pay-per-view card of the year? Because these guys won't back down.
Evander Holyfield.
They won't back up.
James Tony.
They won't back off. Finally, a heavyweight fight that lives up to the hype. Holyfield Tony, the war on October 4, plus Joel Casamayor versus Diego Corrales, and more. Saturday, October 4th, live on pay-per-view.
We are back just as a little clear pass out here to Sanchez. He pays the price on the throw from Sirfas as he got nailed on the play by Billy Haight, along with the 33 Jeff Hammer. And another timeout by Freedom as he did not get out of bounds. And Dick, the pass is complete, but no gain.
No, you expect the feet there, Gary. A little bit of swing out of the backfield, comes up short. You want him to turn that corner. Northampton says no, and unfortunately for the Pates, unable to get it out of bounds. Going to cost him another timeout.
So it's going to be a 2nd and 10, timeout number 2, used by Freedom. So they have one left, 28 seconds on the clock. And Dick, you almost get the feeling if they're going to score here, it's going to be on a draw play or something where they run the ball with the speed of a Carter or the speed of a Partridge. But certainly Northampton doesn't appear, at least, as if they're going to be giving up any long bombs with the defense they have going for them right now. From the 49-yard line, 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Sirfas looking, firing, and he's got his man. He's got Partridge, and Partridge will get hit from behind by Jeff Hammer. He'll go down at the 30-yard line. It'll be a 19-yard pickup and a first down with 18 seconds on the clock.
Seen Freedom use this play all year, Gary. It's back over the middle. Great pass protection that time. Sirfas had all day. Now you got option after they're calling their third timeout. You got to think here with clock. You know, do we go one more, go for the end zone, or do we go set up a possible field goal attempt? You're talking about a guy who's kicked quite a few field goals already.
And the ball placed down at the 29-yard line. So if you're going to kick the field goal here, you'll be looking at about a 46-yarder. Sedlock, as we said, is 5 for 7 in field goals, but his longest stick is only 31 yards.
That's why you play the clock and gamble a little bit here, Gary. Something, if you're going to throw something to the sideline, make certain you get it out of bounds.
And again, you have to be wary of the draw play, but with 18 seconds on the clock, you might not get another opportunity. Put it up for Neely. Well covered on the play, as that's just a real nice job. Popping it up in the air was almost caught. Billy Haight is there with the coverage. It'll be an incomplete pass.
Haight's going to come up short, and Haight takes the inside and the distance away.
Well, there's a great view. And there it almost comes back to Colin Neely. 6 seconds used on the clock. It brings up a 2nd and 10. Actually, 2nd and 29. The ball just inside the 30-yard line. Talked about Colin Neely last week. 6'4", 230-pound sophomore. Plenty of time for Sirfas. Put it up in the air. Northampton's there, and it's a catch. Oh, my! What a catch by Chris Schlack. He catches the ball at the 1-yard line, and the clock tick will maybe run out. That will be a 28-yard pass play. Schlack with the catch.
Has to be a penalty.
And there is a penalty there. So we'll keep our eyes very closely on Jim Haney. I'm sure we have a procedure penalty. That's going to be a 5-yard penalty against Freedom after the 20. Watch this completion, Dick, to Schlack.
Talk about in traffic. First of all, the pressure accounts for the little wobble on the throw. I'll tell you, he got great body position. Went up in a crowd, brought it down in a crowd.
Second catch for Schlack for 42 yards. Ball back to the 6-yard line. Final play, and Dick, they are going to not go for the field goal here. Now they spike the ball to stop the clock with 1 second on the clock.
And they got to run it out on the scoreboard, but Jimmy steps in here. 3 on the put back 3.
They're going to put 3 seconds on the clock. So they'll use only 1 second. That will go down as an incomplete pass.
Got the field goal team coming in, please.
And they are going to try to get 3 on the board. So Sirfas with a nice drive. He'll have 7 for 14 for 95 yards. And in to kick the field goal, Mark Sedlock, as this will be a 27-yarder. The final play of the first half. High snap. The kick is up. And the kick by Sirfas placed down smartly by Sedlock. The kick is good. With no time left on the clock, Freedom gets on the board. The halftime score. Northampton 7, Freedom nothing. It'll go down as a 27-yard field goal for number 99, Mark Sedlock. We'll be back with the halftime show right after this timeout.
Why are they calling the War on October 4 the pay-per-view card of the year? Because these guys won't back down.
Evander Holyfield.
They won't back up.
James Toney.
They won't back off. Finally, a heavyweight fight that lives up to the hype. Holyfield Tony, the War on October 4, plus Joel Casamayor versus Diego Corrales, and more. Saturday, October 4th, live on pay-per-view.
We are back. We welcome you back. A good first half of football. 7-3 Northampton. And Northampton dominated the first half. But right now, we're going to turn our attention down on the field here at Al Odyssey Stadium, as filling it up from 5-yard line to 5-yard line is the Freedom High School Patriot Marching Band under the direction of Mike Moran. Let's go down on the field and let's listen in. take a look at the Northampton Concrete Kid Band right now. Take a look at this sophomore, 6'4", 230, Colin Neely. That kid is headed to big-time college football. We'll be back 7-3, Northampton on top.
Why are they calling the war on October 4 the pay-per-view card of the year? Because these guys won't back down.
Evander Holyfield.
They won't back up.
James Tony.
They won't back off. Finally, a heavyweight fight that lives up to the hype. Holyfield Tony, the war on October 4, plus Joel Casamayor versus Diego Corrales, and more. Saturday, October 4th, live on pay-per-view.
There, 26. We are back as the Northampton band is all set up, ready to perform for you. That young lady ready to get everybody in motion. Jeff Lancer is the band director for Northampton. Let's go down on the field. The Northampton Concrete Kids, their marching band.
Librarians Alicia Gregory and Christina Youngson. Guard captains Tim MacArthur and Monica Ryan. Soloists for this evening's performance include Jackie Herbert, trumpet, Tim MacArthur, guard, Joe Vivianic, guard, and Monica Ryan, guard. The band will be performing the second and third songs from this year's show. We hope you enjoy our presentation.
A nice job by both bands at halftime. Nice job certainly in this ball game too for Northampton by John Opplinger, number 30. He's been a busy man. 15 carries, 82 yards, 7-3. Northampton will be back.
Why are they calling the war on October 4 the pay-per-view card of the year? Because these guys won't back down.
Evander Holyfield.
They won't back up.
James Toney.
They won't back off. Finally, a heavyweight fight that lives up to the hype. Holyfield Tony, the war on October 4, plus Joel Casamayor versus Diego Corrales, and more. Saturday, October 4th, live on pay-per-view.
We are back at halftime, 7-3 in favor of Northampton. Halftime brought to you by Atlanta Metro. Take the bus to school, work, shopping, doctor's visits, and more. Ride the bus all day. $2. Don't forget, seniors and the disabled ride free during off-peak hours. Take the bus, you'll agree. Atlanta Metro is making it easy. We're going to make it easy for you, too. Look at the halftime stats. And Dick Tracy, look at the numbers, yards rushing for Freedom. That would seem impossible coming into tonight's game.
Well, it would seem impossible with the score, too. You know, you're looking at numbers totally dominated by Northampton. Freedom putting it up there, I think, more than they want to. At least they have positive yards, especially that last drive. A 7-3 score, you know what? Freedom probably is happy that it is just 7-3.
No doubt about it. It is a first half dominated by Northampton. Halftime stats by R&J Carpet, brought to you there on North 3rd Street in Whitehall. Let's take a look at the halftime highlights. And certainly most of them might center around that Northampton offensive attack. We'll go to the second quarter.
And you're going to see so much at number 30. We expected Jeff Palmer to be extremely well. You see Palmer lined up left there. There's the paintball, the belly fake.
Boy, did Muchko play a good first half.
Oh, did he ever. You know, we talked about this is not the year of the quarterback. We're seeing a very, very good quarterback tonight.
This play occurred at the 2:03 mark of the first half in the second period. And that was the touchdown, the only one of the ball game. Billy Haight catches it, his 5th touchdown pass of the season. And Dick, to Freedom's credit, they came back and marched downfield.
And I'll tell you, this is a big, big plus for Freedom. To be able, Gary, to come back with that, they're playing the clock against the clock, and they come back traveling almost the length of the field. And the way he wheels in there, Chris Schlock, very good performer all year long. And he just chased guys with his body. That's just a great, great catch. That led to a field goal, a 27-yarder by number 99, Mark Sedlock. And that's where we are right now. It's 7-3. One other score to report to you. Right now over at Bethlehem School District Stadium, Becca High at halftime leading Liberty. That's not a surprise, but maybe the surprise is how close the ball game is right now. 6-0, Becca over Liberty. So a few surprises maybe tonight, Richard, as 7-3 here is a bit of a surprise. Freedom came in undefeated. And Northampton has really strutted and dominated, you know, the game.
Number 41,
Jordan comeback and played the clock so very, very well.
Urbanchik will tee it up. He will kick it off. Deep to receive, Kadir Carter and Joe Partridge. Again, Paul Plattenberg bringing you, doing our spotting for us tonight. Kristen Vitovich taking care of our individual numbers. We didn't give you any of those. Let's give you a few of them. As the leading ball carrier tonight for Freedom, how about Joe Partridge? 3 carries, 10 yards. On the other side, however, John Opplinger, 15 carries, 82 yards. And Mushko with a good night as Mushko with 82 yards in the air. With the football and twisting and turning, kind of got knocked down by his own man, was Joe Partridge. Freedom will start their drive. 1st and 10 on the 27. And Dick, this possession by Freedom might tell us a little bit about the outcome of this ball game.
Yeah, we said they've been throwing a lot, not a lot, but they've been throwing on 1st down. Let's see if they go back and say, halftime adjustments, this is what we're going to do against that 3-man front that Northampton is running.
Freedom only had 25 plays in the first half compared to 41 by Northampton. In motion goes Kadir Carter. The handoff goes to the deep back, and that's going to be Ray Sanchez. He'll fall forward to about the 30-yard line. That'll be a gain of 3 yards on the play, tackled by Rick Cressley, 2nd and 7.
And that's why that plays, Gary. That number is more important than the yardage number, because Freedom has really been restricted, not on offense in running the ball, but the fact that they haven't had the clock. They haven't had the ball and been able to mount any offense.
The only drive of any note was a 10-play drive that got them their field goal. They were 1, 2, 3 and out twice, and went to 7 plays and out once. They only had the ball 4 times. There's a nice tackle on the play by Palkovich, number 52, as the ball carrier was Partridge, and also Pammer there to wrap him up.
One big thing there about that defense of Northampton, they only play a 3 front, but don't forget those outside linebackers are right on the line. And you have 2 inside. You're running into a 7-man front. And maybe that's why Freedom's gone to the pass occasionally on first.
You get a look at the big guy. It's cold out there. You wouldn't know it by his outfit, short-sleeve shirt and shorts. Wonder what he wears in the summertime. A gain of 2 by Partridge. As there's a pass downfield intended for Partridge, out of bounds. He would not have caught that inbound anyway. Harrickle was there with the coverage. It'll be an incomplete pass, as Sirkos now 7 for 15 for his 95 yards, and Dick 1, 2, 3 and out.
Yeah, and Freedom again had to go to that one receiver, a look on a 3rd down, and it always seems to be, just someone running down to the outside.
Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, the Catasauqua Sesquicentennial Parade. We'll have it for you tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. I think that means somewhere around Dick's age. I think it's somewhere around there.
What is it, 175?
No, you're not a day over 150. From the 4th and 5, the kick getting away from it is Pammer, and the ball will roll and stop at about the 32-yard line. That'll be a 36-yard punt. If you're watching this ball game on a tape delay basis on Saturday, the Caddy Parade will be on immediately following the ball game. Immediately before the ball game, if you're watching on Saturday, you missed Lafayette. As Lafayette-Georgetown tomorrow, 1 o'clock from Fisher Field. As a Patriot League ball game, Lafayette looking for their first Patriot League win of the season. From the 32-yard line, 1st and 10 for Northampton. They were probably a team, Dick, that didn't want to go in the locker room, although they pick it up right where they left it off. Here's Pammer, very quiet in the first half, running the football. Not quiet here, as he'll get to the 47, a 15-yard gain. Kadir Carter there to make the tackle. Northampton starts off with a 1st down on the first play, and we've got an injured Northampton player, Matt France. The right guard is down, 5'11", 250-pound senior.
Matt pulled on that play as a lead blocker. Saw the 2-back set that time, Gary, and I think that even ups Northampton's running game even more. You can't always key on Opliger, although obviously he ran away from a few keys in the first half.
Neither one of these two teams is really very deep, as both of them fear injuries. They just don't have a lot of players. And right now, we hope that Matt France is all right. He's getting up. That's a good sign. And it looks like Dickey may have hurt his shoulder.
Holding the thing down. Yeah, he is pulling.
Yeah, he's at the bottom of your screen here, turning around. And I don't know whether that motion right there, Dick, might have been the cause of the injury.
Look for more of a 2-back set from Northampton. Certainly adds to their dimensions of their running game.
So it's 1st and 10 from the 47-yard line. And looking and rolling. Mushko back, again firing back the other way, and the ball is not handled cleanly by Pammer, and because he juggled it, he couldn't catch it before going out of bounds. Dick, they have had some beautifully designed plays tonight.
Absolutely. The game plan for Northampton offensively has been perfect. This is the sequence of the play just run by Pammer.
Watch the coaching staff on the sideline. Oh, Pico says, oh my. Oh, so close to catching it cleanly and then going out of bounds. What he did was bobbled it, went out of bounds and caught it cleanly. 2nd and 10 from the 47. He'll hand the ball off. And there's the same play they ran last time on first down. Hammer barreling his way down to the 35-yard line. An 18-yard pickup. He picked up 15 the first time. This time, 18. So Hammer looks like he's going to be the featured attraction in the second half. Albino in on the tackle.
Watch the right tackle from Northampton. Sometimes you don't have to put a man down. Just screen it.
Yeah, right in here,
Just screen
boy.
the block right off.
And Dick, once they get all this taken care of on the inside, there's nobody out there to make the tackle.
Well, you got good speed. Northampton backs able to take that corner.
That's John Mann who was in there, Dick, for Matt France. And that's going to be a touchdown. Oplinger will go 35 yards for the touchdown. Northampton on the board at the 9:54 mark.
Run it outside. Bootleg outside. Run it outside. Get the defense just being conscious of the outside, and look what you get up the middle. Quick hitter, breaks it to the outside, and then becomes a foot race.
Talk about a hole to run through. Oh, my. And again, John Mann, one of the guys in there to have one of those good blocks in to kick the extra point. It's up. It's not very far, but it is indeed good enough as the extra point up and good by Tyler McCandless with 9:48 to go in the third period. It's 14-3 in favor of Northampton. Oplinger, that was his third touchdown of the season. And it gives us a little time here to come up with the Krause Dodge Trivia Question of the Week. Freedom came into this ball game 5-0, and along with Northern Lehigh, the only undefeated teams in our viewing audience. Can anyone name the Pennsylvania team that recorded the most consecutive regular season wins? So there's your question. Not an easy one this week. Which team had the most consecutive regular season wins? So John Oplinger on the board. The extra point good again by McCandless. He's 2 for 2 tonight. And Dick, they have 184 yards on the ground. And Oplinger with 117 of them on 16 carries. Carrying the football on the kickoff is Joey Partridge. Partridge will get it out to the 33. Sid Gerger is there to make the tackle. And Dick, all of a sudden, things get to be a little more desperate for the Freedom Pace.
Well, that was a key stop by Gerger because Partridge goes one more step and he has the wall down the Northampton sideline.
Oplinger certainly the featured back tonight. He came in with only 223 yards rushing, and tonight he's got well over 100 already. Inside handoff to Kadir Carter, and that will get the ball up to about the 38-yard line. A gain of 5 should bring up a 2nd and 5. Zuber and John Oplinger there to make the tackle, and we get an injury report from the sideline. Matt France with a dislocated shoulder. Second and 5 from the 38.
It almost appears, Gary, that Freedom would just love to get that running game and not have to pass.
A handoff. They're going to go to that running game. Ray Sanchez. I'm sure that was the challenge given to them in the locker room, Dick, as they gain to the 47 is a pickup of 9. Schaefer and Oplinger there to make the tackle. First down for the Pates. That's their 6th.
And in the wing T offense, these two are 2 key plays. There's a hole there. I mean, he's beyond the line of scrimmage and looks for the cutback.
Dick, might it be possible that Freedom came into this game looking perhaps ahead to next week's game against the Easton Red Rovers?
Yeah, I wouldn't think so. Not with a Jimmy Morgan's coach team. Jimmy plays for the next game.
There you got to look at Matt France. The handoff, good deception. Kadir Carter, but Northampton, nice job by Billy Haight. Haight gets outside there. I don't think anybody but Haight knew who had the football, as the game will be into Northampton territory to the 48. That's a gain of 5. And again, everything sort of looks like it's going this way. And there's a good block right there.
That was on Oplinger, but Haight, smart. Look, he won't give the outside. Force up, and here comes your support troops.
So a gain of 5 on the run. 2nd and 5 from the 48. And the handoff. Not going down this time is Carter. And Carter with good running. Or Partridge, I'm sorry. Partridge all the way down inside the 35, down to the 33-yard line. That's a 15-yard pickup. Linger is there to make the tackle.
4 consecutive big plays. 5, 5, 5, and 15. Now, in the wing T, Gary, here, this is a great example of what you ask the running backs to do. Line will take care of the line of scrimmage, but you give me yardage beyond the line of scrimmage.
1st and 10 from the 33. First down number 7 for Freedom. Northampton with 14 first down. Back to throw Searfoss. Going for it all. Looking for Partridge. Down the sideline. That's great coverage. Almost intercepted. Step for step. Terrific coverage by Jimmy Zuber.
But that is a 7-3 score, and Opplinger doesn't score that second TD there. I wonder if this is all run. But here you're going to try to catch him on a first down situation. Again, almost nearly intercepted.
You cannot play better defensive back position than that play right there. Step for step was Jimmy Zuber with Joey Partridge. And Dick, we saw Partridge make a similar catch last week against Allen in that 33-18 win. And we're going to get motion here along the line of scrimmage by Freedom. They hand off to Ray Sanchez, but this one's going to come back. It'll be a 5-yard penalty against Freedom. It'll be their 4th for 35 yards.
Giving them a 2nd and 15 situation.
And Dick, it's what they just don't like to do, and that's being forced into these 2nd and long, 3rd and long.
And obviously, obvious throw situation. They've thrown a lot on first down, which is not an obvious thing, but when you're down with plus 10 from the line of scrimmage and 2nd and 3rd down coming.
Freedom, the last time they were 5-0, 1998, went into their 6th ball game of the season. They were beaten by Northampton. They have never, ever in their history been 6-0. That long pass play intended for Nick Discola, and that falls incomplete. And good coverage again by Northampton. Again, it's by 87 Zuber.
And great pass protection that time by the line. Obviously, Northampton not coming because of the down and distance. They go for the coverage. Again, Freedom going to one receiver, not looking off. That time he had the time to look off to another possible receiver.
Here's Tico. Grew up in Utah. Ended up going to Purdue. Played football at Purdue. Got married. Headed to Oneonta, New York. Did a little coaching there. As that pass is caught. Kadir Carter down the sideline has a first down. On a 3rd and 15, here's a penalty flag that's thrown prior to the first down. So hold everything. Zuber and Hammer make the tackle. Ineligible receiver downfield. This is all coming back.
You know what happened? This is intended to be a screen. Northampton covers the screen man well, so he just picks out the other option.
Now we're going to take a look at that right tackle, Ryan Erie, right out in this area right here. Take your eye right there. Keep your eye on that guy right there. Stop it right there. Once you go from here to here and you're a lineman, Dick, you can't be there.
To that Northampton, the defensive front just stayed on the line of scrimmage, and the linebackers covered the screen option.
That only looks like a 5-yard penalty, but that's a lot more than that. As they lose all that yardage, they had a first down, maybe going in for a touchdown, but now they're looking at a 3rd and 20. Schlack out wide to the right side. Searfoss back. Here comes the blitz. He's going down. As it is, who else? John Opplinger comes in to make the stick as he'll get Searfoss down at the 48-yard line. That is a loss of 9.
Stops the drive, takes about a field goal territory.
Dick, take a look right here at John Opplinger. All he's worried about is getting right where the quarterback is going to be.
Stays in the pocket, makes it easier.
Brad Tress is in to punt on the loss of 13. Tress will punt it away. And it will roll out of bounds. downs at around the 12-yard line. So Sirfas may be shaken up on the play. That will be a 40-yard punt. And Northampton will take over 1st and 10 at the 12.
And at the 6:03 mark of the third quarter, this next sequence offensively for Northampton could be a real big determiner in the game.
We take a look across the way. Sirfas is moving up and down the sideline, so it appears as if he's okay. Certainly doesn't like what he sees up on the scoreboard, however. A Northampton 14-3 lead. 1st and 10 kids. They have been virtually unstoppable, except when they have stopped themselves. Here's the quick pitch. Out to Pammer. Dick, it's obvious that Tito Johnson said, look, I'm going to go with Oplinger in the first half and Pammer in the second half, and I'll have fresh legs coming at you all the time. Carter on the tackle.
And both of them able to make that corner. Good blocking on the line, and then the corner side.
Gain of 8 yards. 2nd and 2. As Northampton is picking them up 7 and 8. A good block there by Oplinger. It's the deep back, trying to get a first down, has to get to the 22-yard line. Ball carrier is Oplinger. And John is put down, it appears at the 21. He's going to need a yard. He only gets 1. Partridge and Lovett on the tackle. Northampton approaching 200 yards rushing. They're at 193.
Last time they had it this close, they went sneak. Time to go wild.
They try to go wild. Terrific job by the ball carrier. Running out of a tackle was Pammer. Down the sideline, Pammer. To the 40. Cuts back. He'll go down to the 32 or 31. Yard line. Discolo makes the touchdown-saving tackle. That is a gain of 48 yards and a Northampton first down.
Well, 3rd and short. So you bunch. Put about 9 in the box.
First of all, this is a play that should have been made in the backfield.
Slack makes good penetration. I believe it's Slack right here.
Right there. Stop it, and unable to get the ball carrier as Pammer runs out of that tackle. And then look at this blocking downfield. All the way down to the 31-yard line. 1st and 10 Northampton. Keeping the football this time is Mushko. And he'll pick up 2 to the 29. Lovett in on the tackle.
Surprise Freedom giving up that corner as much, Gary. Maybe that's another plus for Mushko and his faking inside.
5th play of the drive started on the 12-yard line. 2nd and 2 from the 29. Lafayette Georgetown tomorrow. Right after this ball game, Caddy. And Notre Dame, quick out to Ed Crow. Crow makes the tackle, or Discolo makes the tackle as he drops Crow at about the 26-yard line. That's a gain of 3 on the pass play. 13 for 17 now for 85 yards.
Mushko will take that matchup any day of the week. Discolo 5'9". Crow 6'5".
3rd and 5. Northampton trying to put a nail perhaps in the undefeated season in that coffin of Freedom High. Rolling, Mushko looking, he's going down. That's Neely all over him as Colin Neely will put him down back at the 34-yard line. That will be a loss of 8 as Northampton will look at a 4th down.
That is not a sophomore play. He comes in, watch, he stops. He doesn't go for any fake at all and then just hunkers down and puts the pressure.
Mr. Neely, we've seen plenty of him this season. Colin Neely. Northampton looks like they're going to be willing to punt this away and put Freedom deep. And the key here, Dick, is don't kick it into the end zone.
Play a little deep.
Jeff Hammer in to punt it away. And he will try to pooch it out of bounds somewhere inside that 15-yard line.
Take a penalty.
I would take the penalty, too. Give him a little more room. Delay a game. I always wonder why sometimes coaches don't refuse that penalty. 3rd penalty, 20 yards. That was one Northampton was happy to take. Everybody holds their breath on the snap. And Freedom looks like they're sending everybody. They are not. They're going to fake it.
Knew it.
Oh, my. And they're going to get the first down. Oh, a great run by Pammer. What a great call. Now I wonder why you take the delay of game penalty, Dick. I'm not sure what Northampton was thinking there.
Sets it up to be more gay. Honestly, I knew that when I saw it coming. Pammer to the right. They had 10 men. Freedom had 10 men up.
25-yard pickup. All right, there's the guy that'll do the damage. Watch the blocking right here.
Look at that seal block.
And you just have to get past the one guy, and then it's nothing but green turf downfield.
I believe it was Josh Harrison. Good seal block.
25-yard pickup, 15th first down. Boy, are we seeing great play calling here tonight. By Northampton. Getting stuck immediately, but he won't go down. It's a 13-yard touchdown play.
Well, he's not going to get tackled. They're just trying to bump him out of bounds, and he retains his balance and actually waltzes in.
His 4th touchdown of the season, his 2nd tonight. Mushko with his 2nd touchdown pass of the night. And for Mushko, that's his 9th touchdown of the season. Going for the extra point is McCandless. It's up. Good strong leg right in the middle of the goalpost. 2:23 on the clock. And it's Northampton 21. Undefeated Freedom High School 3.
Bill boy. Boy, he's been good on rollout stuff.
And I'll tell you, Hoppinger, Dick, just does not go down on the first hit. All right.
He doesn't go down the mat either.
Let's go back to our trivia question, see how you did. Who has the Pennsylvania record for the most consecutive regular season wins? Before we share the answer, Dick thinks he has it.
I thought I had it.
Well, say it.
Oh, Bullock?
No. Paulie Plattenberg guessed CB West. They are both wrong. Strath Haven tonight can tie the record with a win over Haverford. They've won 68 in a row. Smethport is the team with the record. 69 consecutive regular season wins from 1988 through 1996. Strath Haven can tie that record tonight if they beat Haverford.
And they're sitting on top of that 3A division again.
Right now, sitting on top of the world is Northampton. That drive, 8 plays, 88 yards, as Partridge will return the kickoff out to about the 31-yard line. 2 minutes and 13 seconds to go in the 3rd period. And things are becoming desperate for the pace. Harrickle, Wilson in on the tackle.
31.
So in this quarter, a 68-yard drive in 4 plays, an 88-yard drive in 8 plays, a couple of touchdowns, and the gap has been widened. 1st and 10 from the 31. And we are going to get a penalty flag. I think we have one of those illegal formations here, or procedure calls against Freedom. They have just not been sharp tonight. And I think you can give Northampton a lot of the credit for that. Oh, Northampton's offside. So that's the 4th penalty against the kids. And that gives Freedom a nice 1st and 5, and you can do just about anything you want on 1st and 5. Dick, Freedom right now needs a long run for a touchdown.
Yeah, they must have, you're right, they must have a big play.
Here you see the offsides is the lining up offsides was Chris, or number 9 for Northampton, Josh Mark.
Open backfield.
But they still hand it off. Carter has it. Tries to go to the top of your screen, and good pursuit by Northampton. There's Opplinger with a tackle. Something tells me, Dick, he just might be the Yakos player of the game.
Well, they sent a manager out for extra mustard, so he must be the lockers there.
Gain of 3.
His defensive stats are phenomenal, if accurate. They've been phenomenal up to this time.
No Freedom back has more than 27 yards rushing tonight. They only have 60 yards total. 2nd and 2 from the 39. Here Foss back. Looking, pumping. And he fires, he's got Schlack. Schwack is a good receiver. He gets the ball down to the 38-yard line in Northampton territory. That is a 23-yard pickup. Zuber on the tackle.
And the big play, Gary.
That play advances the ball to the Northampton 38-yard line.
They go over 100 yards passing now at 118. First down, number 8. First and 10 from the 38-yard line. Keeping it, Sirfas. Good protection. Fires. Good catch. Neely went up in the air. He's going to pump his way all the way down to the 15-yard line. A 23-yard pickup. Harrickle in on the tackle. Back-to-back 23-yard gains for Freedom, and they're all the way down to the 15-yard line.
This is some pattern. Sirfas, the only spot safe to throw with his size, and he puts it right up there. Good reception and good yardage after.
Clock is running. 45 seconds to go in the period. Freedom down by 18. In motion, Carter. Sirfas back. They'll drop the ball to Neely. Neely can't hang on to this one. Jim Zuber with the coverage.
They went down and out. I believe that was Carter out of the backfield and then brought Neely from the tight end position across the middle as an underman.
Sirfas 9 for 20, 141 yards. The only points on the board by Freedom, a 27-yard field goal by Mark Sedlock. And that came with no time left in the first half. Second and 10. Hand the ball off. Give it to Partridge. And Partridge will get down inside the 10. They'll mark it, it appears, right at the 9-yard line. That'll be a gain of 6. Freedom will look at a 3rd and 4. Hawkovitz and Schaefer there to make the tackle.
Northampton's secondary has been impressive too, Gary. Not necessarily in pass defense, but coming up and covering. They're going to let the quarter run out.
That will do it. 3 periods have gone by. 21-3. John Opplinger has had a big, big night. His second touchdown. We'll be back.
Why are they calling the war on October 4 the pay-per-view card of the year? Because these guys won't back down.
Evander Holyfield.
They won't back up.
James Tony.
They won't back off. Finally, a heavyweight fight that lives up to the hype. Holyfield Tony, the war on October 4, plus Joel Casamayor versus Diego Corrales, and more. Saturday, October 4th, live on pay-per-view.
It might just be that kind of night at Bethlehem School District Stadium. 3rd period, 6-6, Liberty Becca. 3rd and 5, and putting it up for grabs. There's the penalty flag. That will be intentional grounding as Pammer was in there, along with number 25, Cressley, in there. And it's going to be intentional. Well, yeah, there's the intentional grounding call.
So it's Northampton that comes up with the blitz.
It's going to be a loss of down. They'll mark the ball at the 21. That'll be a loss of 11 plus the penalty. So Sirfas, a loss of 11 on the what will be considered a rush. And then the 5-yard walk-off, 6 penalty, 45 yards. And just like that, Freedom, Dick, is looking at a 4th. They can get a first down at the 5-yard line. The ball on the 21, 4th and 16.
Yeah, certainly. Right, those numbers certainly wipe out the field goal possibility.
Well, it's going in the end zone, and it's going to be knocked down. Northampton will take over on downs. Great play by Devin Klein.
Pretty good pass. on a fade pattern, but even better was defense against it. He just fades this one down the sideline, run under it, and then the slap.
Devin Klein with the D. Boy, Dick, they have been step for step with every receiver tonight. They've been in great position. There hasn't been anything close to a pass interference call.
And a lot of it there has been on man coverage, too. One-on-one, that makes it tough.
So they'll get the ball from the 26 and try to keep that clock running. They hand the ball off to Opplinger. Look at him go. Opplinger just barrels through the line of scrimmage, gets the ball up to the 37-yard line, a gain of 11 yards. First down, Carter on the tackle, along with Lovett and Discolo.
You want clock? Here's a way to keep it. Just keep churning and churning and churning and eating seconds.
And how about that line? Man, Dockett, Morano, Opplinger, Schaefer. France earlier, but he got himself a separated shoulder in the third quarter. First and 10 from the 38. Wow. Here comes Pammer. There goes Pammer. Pammer down the sideline. Look at him run away from everybody. Pammer all the way down inside the 5-yard line. Carter on the tackle. They will mark it at the, let's see where they do indeed mark it.
A track star, hurdling his specialty. Well, he doesn't have to hurdle this time. Break a few tackles, give him a few good moves with the legs, and then sprint down that sideline. Quadir Carter's speed saves that from being a touchdown.
55-yard gain down to the 7-yard line. Northampton has rushed the ball tonight for 326 yards. Give the ball off to Opplinger. And he just won't go down, even though he's hit by about 7 or 8 guys. As give credit to Erie and Neely. And let's see if we got any yardage and all of that. Of course, there's a little, because he doesn't go down, there's frustration here by Freedom. They just push and shove and grab and kick and bite. No gain on the play. So now we got to start looking at Pammer's numbers. Pammer, 7 carries, 176 yards. Opplinger, 18 carries, 129 yards. This time the ball is carried by Devin Klein. Sanchez is there to make the tackle. They'll mark it at the 5. It'll be a gain of 2.
All the time, the clock is running.
I think that's Klein's first run of the night. Third and goal to go from the 5. Mushko back. Drops the ball off. That's a touchdown, Opplinger. John Opplinger again from Craig Mushko. Mushko's third touchdown pass of the night. Opplinger's third touchdown of the night.
Great pressure this time against Mushko. Even his time for the boot fake. And still gets it off and completes it.
And that puts them over 100 yards passing on the night to 103. 9:48 on the clock. The kick is up. The kick is good. 9:48 as we said on the clock. And it's Northampton 28, Freedom 3. Go figure.
Hey, you know, with that long talk with Coach Chico Johnson on the sideline, one line really impressed me. He said, very, very softly, yeah, we have the great athletes, we have the outstanding people, but the line has improved week by week by week. And I tell you, they have run roughshod over the front wall of the defenders.
Dick, they did it in 5 plays. They go 74 yards. The big run, of course, the 55-yarder by Pammer. They have now chalked up 431 yards of offense.
You know, certainly Pammer and Opplinger are most dominant, have the size to go with their ability to run the ball, but springing them, loosening them, and getting a great protection for Mushko, who has been sensational with his faking. But I tell you, a lot of it started tonight with the line.
Urbanchik will kick it off, end over end, coming down to Justin Lee at the 9-yard line. And Lee's going to try to get to the top of your screen. He won't, as Northampton just keeps coming at you and at you. Gergar again in on the tackle. He's been in on almost every kickoff tackle tonight for Northampton. The ball will be placed at the 21-yard line. 1st and 10, Freedom.
This is a Northampton line that was rocked by graduation. You're talking about only Chris Gabrilik returned from that offensive line, and he, of course, is an outside member.
Yeah, they lost really all of their offensive and defensive starters from last year along the line of scrimmage. What they didn't lose were their skill position people. And, Dick, that offensive and defensive line have come a long way since the beginning of the season. Passes out to Schlack. He'll make the catch, get up to the 32, gain 12 yards and a 1st down. Billy Haight there to make the tackle.
I like that play, Gary. A very safe play. Get it out there in an ISO series with the opportunity to break the big run after the catch, and a pretty safe throw.
We'll call it the 31-yard line. So 1st and 10 from the 31. 152 yards now in the air for Sirfox. But, Dick, when they're throwing the ball that many times, it's not a good night for Freedom. This is what they like to do. Give the ball to Partridge, give the ball to Carter or Sanchez, and let them do something with it. Northampton hasn't let them do very much tonight. They will pick up 9 yards on that carry. Devin Klein in on the tackle.
Able to get around that corner from that 7-man Northampton front. That time, one of the very few times it's happened this evening.
Very close to a 1st down. I would say, Dick, if you want to throw the bomb, this is a good play to throw it on, 2nd and inches.
If I throw the bomb now and it goes incomplete, fine, stops the clock.
So you're not hurt either way, and you hope maybe you can get one completed. Zuber steps up the blitz. And instead, they hand the ball off to Kadir Carter. And Carter will get out over the 45, out to the 47. A gain of 6 yards and a 1st down as Pammer and Schaefer there to make the tackle.
Most of the Northampton blitzes have come from the outside. That time, Freedom's play calling took that away when they call an inside run.
Once they set the chains, they'll start the clock. It is indeed running now. You see the number, 8-17, 16. As all of those ticks are in Northampton's favor. Slack out wide to the right side. They will reset the backfield.
With a safety cheating over to help.
Nice little look-in pattern run by Schlack. Schlack is fearless to the 41-yard line, a gain of 12 and a 1st down.
Schlack's like that Northampton offensive line. I'm getting better each week. Take away the outside so he slants right over the middle. Good job of Sirfox reading probably an adjusted pattern.
To the 41-yard line, 1st and 10 for Freedom. They're down by 25. So, Dick, even 3/8 won't get them what they need. They are 4 scores.
Ooh, what a sure
and
tackle.
It's not easy. I'll tell you, tackle on Ray Sanchez by Zuber. That kid has played a pretty terrific game tonight, too. To the 38-yard line, that's a gain of 3 on the completion.
Sirfox steps up here. Look at that hit.
3 yards, 2nd and 7, Freedom.
Boy, this has been a great job by the coaching staff tonight. Some of these calls have been spectacular. A great job by the defense, by the offense, by the linemen, and those skill position people that we expected a big ball game out of. Sirfox back, drops the ball off to Carter. He'll try to stay on his feet and does. And Carter's scrambling for a bunch of yardage. He'll get down to the 28-yard line. He'll pick up 10 yards. Zuber again on the tackle, and that's another 1st down.
A week ago, Friday, Gary, I remember driving home and I started thinking just how good is Freedom. And then only one thing nagged me about it. 19-18 Allen in the 3rd quarter, and they didn't bury him. You know what I mean? Allen's down 1 point in the 3rd quarter. And Freedom, well, you're in a 1-point game in the 3rd quarter, and Allen just never couldn't. We said, resiliency.
Well, they certainly gave the Red Rovers a battle last year, and we'll see whether or not they can regroup and come back to play Easton. Easton taking on Nazareth tonight. Carrying the ball is Carter. Carter will get to the 24-yard line, and that'll be a gain of 4. 2nd and 6. Opplinger and Zuber on the tackle.
Yeah, you asked earlier, looking ahead. I don't think it can look ahead. You know, obviously we see that coming into effect tonight, but both these teams have Liberty, have Easton, Liberty, and Becca.
Northampton has Easton in 2 weeks. Liberty next week. Liberty trying to upset Becca tonight. Handoff inside to Sanchez, and he will bang his way downfield to the 18-yard line. He'll pick up 6 yards. Hammer on the tackle, and he's going to be close to and indeed has a first down.
But we're under 6 minutes now.
First down number 14. I've got Northampton for 20 first downs tonight. First and 10, Pates. Using a whole bunch of running plays, using up a lot of clock. Tierfas rolling left. He's going to get murdered. As Opplinger comes in from the blind side and nails Jeff. Let's hope he's okay. Schaefer also there. Hall also there. The loss back to the 27. Dick?
Well, you had 2 fakes, and it did not freeze Northampton. As they measured down distance, there has to be obvious pass.
Loss of 9. That's the 3rd sack of the night against Tierfas. He's lost